Hello, welcome back to another video, of course, something electrical and something involving batteries. So, long story, I acquired a second-hand e-bike from Marketplace for $100. It was a bargain. Really good condition. The battery is here. It's 7.5 amp hours, 36 volts, about 270 watt hours in that. And it reads 42.6 volts, so it's fully charged. Doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it. The e-bike is Monster branded. The owner claimed it came from Costco. He couldn't work out how to get it working, but the bike's in immaculate condition. It's just that the electric part doesn't work. I can switch it on, but it flashes empty, which is strange because the battery is reading 42.6 volts, which is fully charged for a 36 volt battery. So what we're going to do is we're going to run it through a high power buck converter. So this steps down to 12 volts, power my inverter, and charge up this EcoFlow. And this is set to charge at 200 watts. So I suspect perhaps the problem may be there's some sag. So when the e-bike turns on and tries to run the motor, it just doesn't deliver the current or the correct voltage. There's a voltage drop. So this is my DIY stress test to see if it actually will power it. So before I do anything, turn on the inverter. That works. This is a pretty beastly buck converter. It is only rated for 30 amps, 240 watts. So an input of 20 to 62 volts, which is perfect for this. And I've only got some small wires in here, so I don't want to push it too hard. And so we're going to ask 200 watts from this inverter. Okay, here we go. Oh, there's a problem with this. I need to turn it off before it registers AC charging. Here we go, click. Click. I don't think this inverter's liking 200 watts. Okay, one moment. Okay, I turned it down to 150 watts and it didn't seem to like that either. So it must be to do with this modified sine wave inverter. Doesn't like it. So I'll try and find a different load. One moment. Okay, we're going to try a light load here. We're going to charge up my Azito battery. This will draw 21 watts, so we'll see if this works. Alright. That turns it off. Yep, charging. So the reason why I have it on a smart plug is because this auto times out after 4 hours, I think. So if I forget to turn it off, it will switch off automatically. So far that seems good. I need to find something that draws a little bit more power. I tried my hot air gun, 300 watts, but that was at the limit of this inverter and it squealed at me. So yeah, can't do that. I'll try and find something about, well, at least 100 watts. So I just looked up the specs of this inverter on the box. It says, yes, it's 300 watts and it can surge up to 600. All right, and this battery charger, here it is, 21 watts, and I plug it in here, which we did before, and it works fine. Check my Tapo app, it's actually pulling 15 watts. So if we upgrade to this one now, which will pull 72 watts, which is well within spec. Let me plug it in. And see what happens. Okay, it's beeping. Now, why is it beeping? It's only drawing 72 watts max. And this is what I suspect that's happening. So when my battery was hooked up to the bike, it just didn't like it. So I think this battery pack is failing when it's asking more power than it can handle, which is obviously, well, it's not going to be greater than 72 watts because it can't even handle this. So just to put my mind at ease, I'm going to hook up another battery pack, and I won't need to step down because I'll use my 12-volt system, and actually see if this will charge. And if this charges with another battery pack, then this battery is the issue, which I suspect all along. It's tricky because it does say 42.6 volts, but it can't handle the load of greater than 70 watts. Alright, I'll hook in another battery pack. Okay, just for giggles, we're going to ask a little bit more of this little inverter. I'm going to add another 72 watts of power. Plug that in here. Might hear some clicking. I wonder why it's clicking. It clicks a bit, but it manages to give us the power. That worked. We'll give it one more. I got one more charger and one more battery to put on, so we'll do that. There we go. They're all charging. Red, red, red. There we go. I don't know what the low voltage alarm is on this, so we'll see what happens. I'll go into the Tapo app now and see how much power we're drawing from it. Okay, we're in the Tapo app again, and we are drawing 118 watts from this poor little 3S lithium-ion battery bank. That is 131 watts, 137 watts. So yeah, my DIY batteries is doing better than the e-bike battery. So at least I know what the problem is now. I'll let all these batteries charge up and I'll check back in. Okay, so if the battery pack is in question, which it is, and ideally I'd gut this battery pack, remove it and use it as the shell because it fits neatly with the bike. That's going to take more work, and I don't know if the battery is actually going to fix any other problems. I hope it's just a battery. But what I'm going to do is I had the foresight to build another battery pack because I wanted to increase the range of my current e-bikes pack, join them in parallel or whatever. So I did actually order 2 BMSs. So the other generic one's in my current bike, and this is another BMS, 10S, 36 volt, 20 amp. Pre-printed some spacers, and because I wanted to draw another pack in parallel, I bought this cheap case from AliExpress, I think, and yeah, they can just wrap around the bike. It's got some Velcro, and this pretty much fits the 10S 3P pack in there. All right, just one moment. I'll put a few batteries in there. Okay, if you use that single 18650 as a reference, this is going to close up, and there's a hole for access to the ports and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to build the 36 volt pack from these batteries over here. I'll use the ones from second life batteries.com.au, SL batteries.com.au, not my power tool ones that I've salvaged because I want them to be, I don't want this BMS to go to waste, so I'll build a proper 36 volt pack with some good cells. And yeah, I won't show this on video because you've seen me build one before. I will show you when I finish it and hook it up to the bike, and cross my fingers, cross my legs, hopefully that it works. Okay, I wasn't going to show you my battery build, but I was kind of proud of it, how quick I did it, so I'm getting better at it now. So this is, I have a Dali BMS here, as I said, the 36 volt 10S 20 amp, and yeah, it's just all packed in and got some barley paper around it. And I just tested it, that it would fit in here, and it does. It's a bit of space left. So I'm gonna actually heat shrink it. Hopefully this fits. It's on. Look at it. Look how sexy this looks. I can't believe I'm calling a battery pack sexy, but it looks like a professional battery pack. You can even see the BMS on the other end. If I had a heat shrink going this side, I could cover it up again and kind of cover up that bit, but that's all right for now. I'm going to solder an XT60 connector on the end, but before I do that, I'm going to hook it back up to my buck converter and we'll do that test again. Alright, I had to do a bit of troubleshooting because the existing wires I had from the inverter were pretty thin and not good, so I quickly soldered up XT60 connection from the output of the buck converter, because it's like a power source, so there's a female there, and there's a male XT60 connection going to my inverter. Slightly thicker cables, and then yeah, so got the Wago connectors here to my new pack. Switch it on, and this 80-watt soldering iron is powering on fine, and it's greater than the 50 watts that we kept getting an alarm on, so that works. Let's try my 300-watt hot air gun. Okay, here we go. Inverter on, hot air gun on. So it actually powers this time, but I'm getting a beep on the inverter. I am maxing this thing out at 300 watts, so that might be the reason. Or this buck converter can, oh no, this buck converter handles 360 watts, so it should be able to handle it. 12 volt 30 amps max, but this might be the limit of this inverter. So I'll find something kind of in between. I need to get between 200 to 250 watts, because that's what my motor runs. But in saying all that, this pack's definitely doing better than what this was doing. So I'll work out how I'm going to hook it up to the bike, and I'll finally show you the bike, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, here's the bike. How awesome is that, right? And really simple controller, just the battery and the speed level. This is where the battery used to be housed. I even got this little stand here at the back, which I quite like. Some disc brakes, not hydraulic unfortunately. Got quite a new seat. I might swap the seat out with my current seat there. This is a lot better. So I snipped off the old controller power wires, Wago connector there. There's my controller, pretty stock standard connection, and the battery is now in the case with the XT60 connection. I'll strap that on and see how we go. Okay, a bit mundane, but look, it's still doing that flashing thing, but the bike is working. Look at this. It's kicking in. See? I'm moving. Ooh, kind of just doesn't stop the throttle as well. A bit scary. It doesn't stop for like an extra 2 seconds. Oh my gosh. So, I mean, it's working. When I had the old battery, would start a little bit, then cut out straight away, and then just turn off. So this might just be a calibration thing now, because it's got a new battery. It doesn't really know the state of charge or something, but I can't move anything, but it's actually still working. Well, I'd say this thing works now. Just funny thing displaying on the controller. I'll take it on a real ride first, and let you know when I come back from that. I gotta secure this. If I put the cover back on, I'm not gonna be able to pass through this cable out to the battery. And I don't want to ruin the other battery holder, so I'll have to work out how to keep that controller in that box. Alright, I thought I was finished, but I'm gonna just pad the bag with some foam here, and I stuck this little informative label for the poor soul that has to maintain this in the future, so I know what it is. So proud of that. And I just put the plastic thing here to hold the controller in place and fed the XT60 through there. Couldn't get the barrel jack back in properly, but yeah, I just covered it up with some tape or something. But that's all secure now. I should have made this cable longer because the controller goes all the way up there, but that's okay for now. And next person who wants to try and repair this, it's all in here, the barrel jack for the battery. And yeah, I'll hook it back up and loop you back in. Alright, just finished my first ride with it. So this is what happens when you first switch it on. It just looks empty and it's flashing between that and that. And it doesn't matter what you set the speed assist to. I'll just put it to max, it just drops down to here. And yeah, the bike works fine. It just, it cuts out every 10 minutes. So I just kind of turned it back on, like this. All the way up, and it's good again for another 10 minutes. There we go, guys. It's done. How awesome is that?